Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Good evening.
Saying hello.
What should we call you? Miss Sarah?
Just call me Sarah. It's
Oh,
fine. Yeah.
Sarah. Okay. So, okay. So, can we start now?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So, okay. Before that, good evening to Sarah as our public relation professional that we interview tonight. So, before we start the interview, I would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Hazima. You can call me Haz. H-E-Z Haz.
Us. Okay.
Ah, so my partner.
Okay, and I'm Ida Shazwani, and you can call me Ayu.
I. Okay.
Yeah. So right now, currently we are semester 4 student in Bachelor of Communication. So we are taking this subject, public relations subject, on this semester. So we conducting this interview as a part of our assignment. So I would like to thank Miss Sarah. A big thanks for you because willing to help us to complete this assignment. Yeah. So as Miss Sarah know that we are actually conducting the two part of interview session, which is the part one. We are conducting and asking a few questions to know more detail about the basic of public relation, about the key concept, and also um the function of PR. So for the part two, we are conducting the interview to know more details about the PR issue that you had experienced during your club or organization, and also how you overcome that issue. So, are you ready, Miss Sarah?
Yep. We
Okay.
can start.
So let's start the interview now.
Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna move to the interview session part one, which is first question. Can you provide a brief overview of your background and how you become involved in public relations?
All right. Okay. Can you hear me clearly? First of all.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, clear.
So first of all, it was a bit of like just randomly thought of going into the course because a lot of people had mentioned that I'm good in communication and presenting. So and also had a knack for public speaking. So I picked PR in when I did my degree in University of Abdul Rahman, and so happened that when I joined the course, I actually clicked really well, and also I had a few of like my family members that were also in the field, and they had told me how the field is like and what kind of jobs that I would be getting into if I were to study this degree course. So then slowly I became interested within, and because I know that one of my key strengths is actually public speaking, and that I'm not afraid to like speak in front of a crowd. So that's why I thought that this job and this field would be well suited for me. Yeah.
Okay. Let's move to the second question, which is, in your opinion, Miss Sarah, how would you define the concept and also the field of public relations?
Okay. Um, I would say public relations is a little bit of everything because one thing that is like the most important thing about PR is about image and how to maintain that image. Especially like if you're working with clients, they come and then they give you a brief and they tell you about like how their company is and how they want their company to be perceived by the public. So I feel like if I were to define PR, I would say it's more about brand image and how to maintain it. Yeah.
That's a really good answer because it's a new information for me. As you know, I'm new to learn public relations,
Ah,
so thank
okay.
you. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Next question is, can you describe any experience you had, whether it's positive or negative, that have shaped your view on PR?
Mhm. Okay, so my one of my experience was actually during my intern. I worked in a PR agency here in KL, and she has a lot of pros and cons, and it depends on how you take it. One thing I would say, working in an agency, it's a very pressured and tight schedule kind of timeline that you have, because you may be working with more than three clients at one time, and all of them will be having campaigns and projects going on. So it's a very tight schedule lah, and but I wouldn't say it's that all the time you're pressured. You do have times when it's more not to say very stress free, but more relaxed. So okay, the experiences that I've had, positive I would say, is that actually during my intern that time, I really learned a lot, because the place I interned with was quite good in the sense that they let me try on a little bit of everything. So I managed like packing PR packs and to send them out to like CEDARs or KOLs. And then I also did contacting these KOLs, like especially like now, because KL is so huge, right? Um, for each campaign, we need to have a proper KOL that fits the theme of the campaign. So one of my jobs was to narrow down with all the KOLs out there, to narrow down which one fits the campaign properly. And I think that was really good experience, because I get to talk with third parties out there, and also I did calling and talking to media houses, because we want to get publicity with our press release, right? So that was very interesting. Dealing with the media, I think that was something very different, because not many people know that, like actually previously I was also working in one of the media agencies. So now I have experiences from the PR side and the media side, where initially I was on the other end of the phone call. Now I'm on the other end of the phone call. So that was pretty interesting. Um, I wouldn't say that's negative, but it's more in the sense that one thing I feel like in this field, it's very competitive, because you know the world right now is like changing very fast, and if you're not in with the big thing, you lose out very fast. And sometimes like one agency could be doing the idea, and then you also could be doing the idea, but they execute it better, and then you lose out in that sense. So I feel like it's a very competitive field lah. Yeah.
I see. So that's your experience when you involve in PR, right? So thank you
Mhm.
so much to Miss Sarah for the experience shared to us. Now we know like more wide knowledge about
Yeah.
what PR do actually.
Mhm.
So for the next question, in your opinion, what are some of the most important skills needed to be successful in PR?
Okay. As I mentioned before, I think public speaking is one of the basic necessity and like the core skill that you need to know. Firstly, because let's say if you're going to be in-house PR and you need to represent your client during when you're going to talk to the press, so you need to be confident in what you're going to say and be confident in answering the media, because the media is going to sometimes they're going to can be quite harsh, and the questions they're going to throw at you, you really need to know how to handle those questions well. Otherwise your company might be in a crisis.
Mm,
Yeah, so I think public speaking is one of the key skills that you would need. And then I also think that articulating your words well. So what this means is that, as I said earlier, that let's say for instance all these media are going to ask you questions, right? You need to know how to answer them properly. Language is a very important skill, no matter if it's English or whatever language that you're working at, whichever region you're at. But it's very important for you to know how to speak well and how to answer well to people, because if you don't know and you like glabba like that, then it's going to be quite hard sometimes to answer
mm,
these people. that, and I also think actually staying up to date is very important to be a public relations officer. One thing, uh, as I said, it's always changing. You know, everyone's always up to date, and someone with like TikTok, Instagram, everything, it just keeps on moving day and day and day. And if you're not up to date, if you're still using those old trends to get in this field, I think it'll be quite hard lah. So yeah, I think these are two most important skills for
Mm-hmm.
this era. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I understand it.
Hmm.
So we're gonna move to the last question, which
Hmm.
is what do you see as the key function or responsibility of public relation professional?
I see. What do you guys mean by key functions?
Um, what the most important?
Most important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I would say one thing is maybe knowing your brand really well. Because if you're going to put an image out there for your client, you need to know how your brand wants to be portrayed and the image they want to set out. So your responsibility as a PR officer is to really study your brand. And not only just the brand, is that the consumers that you want to target. Because if you're not targeting, if you're not doing proper research on who you want to reach out to, then your brand's message can't be conveyed to your audience. And then you'll get lost in translation there, and maybe the campaign that you do would not be as it won't succeed, because you don't know your brand, or you don't know your client as well. Yeah, I think that is the key function and responsibility, because understanding and knowing is really important. Yeah. Other than that, uh, I would say also having a good two-way communication, because nowadays it's not just that the consumers are passive, a lot of companies are getting feedbacks from consumers and asking them, how did you feel about this, how did you feel about that, and they are improving because they know how their target is behaving, the social patterns and all that. So maintaining that two-way, it could be within the company as well, or with the exterior and third parties, but that I think is also very important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Miss Sarah. Before we move to the second part, I'm going to ask a very, very simple question for you.
Yeah, sure.
Um, so right, currently we are studying PR subject. Uh, this is my own question. I think that I want to ask what your advice for us if one day if we are interested to involve in PR for maybe
Mm-hmm.
like for intern or maybe for work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, just now you guys said that your degree is in communications, and then
Yeah.
is PR your major,
Uh,
or is it just another subject that you're
yeah,
taking?
another subject.
Okay, okay, understood. um my advice, hmm, let me put it into thought first. I would say go for it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, because is that almost every company needs a PR practitioner with them. Yeah. Maybe they may not name it as PR practitioner, but what the person's actually doing is PR related stuff. Because overall, if you're a brand, if you're an organization, you need to maintain brand image. Not just that, maintaining the clientele, keeping good relationships with people, keeping relationships with the media. That's all what PR does. And especially like, for instance, if the company goes into crisis and stuff like that, the PR manager takes care of that. So my advice is that if you're really interested or keen into going into the PR field, if you guys haven't done your intern yet, is to try and intern at PR agencies, so that you would know whether is this what you really want to do. Because yes, PR is a good job and everything, but it may not be for everyone. Some
Mm-hmm.
people can't handle it, some people can. So it's good to have touch the waters a little bit
Mm-hmm.
before diving straight into it. Yeah, but my advice would be go for it, because I wouldn't say it's rocket science. So yeah.
So PR work actually is a very, very fun for you.
Yeah, I think it's fun, and it's essential wherever and
Mm-hmm.
whenever we are at. It's essential, very important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Miss
That's
Sarah.
a, that's a lot of responsibility.
No, it's not responsibility. One way to think about it is that, because another one of PR things is also communicating with
Mm-hmm.
KOLs. If Because a lot of youngsters nowadays, I mean, even me, I'm very much into like all those social media celebrities and all that kind. So like if I'm working, and then like my agency suruh I contact this KOL kan, I would be very happy, because when I contact them, right, it's they are knowing me, they are knowing Sarah, but they're also knowing, of course, I'm coming from this company, so on and so forth. But I also have some sort of rapport with this person or with this KOL, especially if this, because a lot of us are into KOLs and all this nowadays. So I think that is one thing that's also very fun to be in PR with. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see. Thank you so much, Miss Sarah, for the answer and some good advice. So we are done for part one of the interview session. So we gonna move to part two. Are you ready,
All
or
right.
you wanna take some break?
No, we can go ahead.
Oh, you can go. Okay, proceed.
Okay, I'm gonna proceed to the first question in part two, which is, can you describe a major PR challenge or issue your club or organization has faced? What was the nature of the issue?
Hmm. So is this question related to my intern or more to my IBMSC club, or both
Um,
is fine?
Good is fine. You can tell any challenges or issue.
Okay. Um, Major PR challenge. Mm, let's see. I would say okay. I wouldn't say it's a challenge or an issue, but one thing that I found a bit difficult to do, and maybe because it was my first time lah, is that contacting the media houses. So the media, they are very busy people, because like if you look at uh media sites like Wallapas, Says, and all this kind of thing, right? They are constantly posting news. That
Mm-hmm.
means almost every time one of the journalists is writing an article, and like the graphic designers are working at the Instagram post and all that. So they are hectic. Yeah, because one of my experiences also working in the media houses is that it's very busy lah. Okay, you can see most of the times they are picking up calls and this and that. So on the other side, where I was working on the PR agency, and I had to be the one to call these media, right? It was difficult because one thing you call, not as if they'll pick up.
Mm-hmm.
And as the PR person, I need to make sure that they have received our press release, and they kind of like post it, because one of my jobs is to media monitoring, where after they post, I need to screen capture that and keep it, like file it lah, basically. So, and we want publicity as much as we can, because we want earn media, right? So, every time call, making sure that they know that we have already sent our press release, and that we that want to post it. So I think that was quite a big challenge for me, I would say. That is one thing. And then also, sometimes finding a KOL that really suits the brand could be a bit hard because let's say, we find a certain KOL, then client might not be too keen on this KOL, but we think that they are well suited for this campaign. Then we
Mm-hmm.
have to like and go find it again, but that it was alright lah, not as bad. mm, Other than that, I would say, with my club, so back when I was in university, uh, one of the issues that I think we faced was that, because when I was studying that time, when I was in IPMSA, most of it was online events. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes getting people to join and attracting the target audience can be a bit hard, especially with online virtual events. Yeah, so I think that was a few of the issues that I feel like I faced during this time. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Sarah. This is quite challenging to help the online activity, right? Doing
Yeah.
online, yeah. So, from the issue that you mentioned just now, does
Mhm.
the issue impact your organization or clubs or something like that?
um I think the previous issues might have been like, not to say very impact, but
Mm-hmm.
for the club one, yes, it did impact it quite a bit because, like, okay, let's say, like, I think one of the events that we have for IPMSC was with Shopee.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are calling third parties, right? Even though it was a success, and yes, but, like, sometimes when you propose and you initiate, you plan to have more people, but the amount of people that actually turn up might be not as much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, we always want to please the third party. So I think that was a bit of a loss or impact lah, because, like, you do so much for digital marketing for the
Mm-hmm.
event. So, like, we were doing full swing marketing. We were posting, and we did countdowns, we even did quizzes, we did a lot for our event. And then sometimes when the turnout isn't as much, it's a bit sad lah. Yeah. But I wouldn't say that it had a major impact on the reputation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, based on the issue, what your overall strategy to overcoming that, and how you communicate to addressing the issue?
Mhm. So I think, like, with the club thing, right? It's important to have a meeting after everything has done.
Yeah.
So debriefing, talking about everything that has happened, and also one thing that I find that is very important is to have a feedback form. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
especially with maybe physical events may be a bit hard to do feedback form, because sometimes it's hard to get everyone to write back. But with the online events, you can just send a Google link or anything
Yeah.
like that. So I think that is very important, and that's one way that how we can know what the audience or participants was feeling like, or felt like during the event, post event, before the event, so that we compile all this information. We among the team itself discuss about it and what they have said, and then from there we think about ways that how our next event can improve on. Yeah. And yeah, even for my degree, my third year, we did an event for our, it's like something like a final year project lah. So ours one is like quite big-ish as well, quite more formal setting. Yeah, that one also we did have a feedback form and all that. Yeah.
Okay, Miss Sarah. So right now in public relations subject, we are actually learning about public relation tools.
Public relation
Tools.
tools. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So related to the issue that you mentioned just now. So how did you determine which PR tools to overcome your issue?
I see. So I think firstly, I think most of the tools are very important,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and also depends on which problem that we want to solve. So, for instance, like I said about the getting feedback and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing I think that media monitoring, that's very important. So okay, let's say not related to the club, just in general, right? uh okay, no, another example is that we had our CSR subject, and for CSR subject we did a CSR in Kampa Perak, and my group's work was about the dangers of the waterfall there in Kampa, because they had a lot of death cases there. And one of the important thing is that we had to media monitor after the event. So because one thing, Kampa is a bit of a tight knit community, so it's not that big, but we managed to get media coverage from, I think, one of the Chinese newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is very, for that particular issue, um, media monitoring tool was one of the important things to get, because we want to know how successful this event was. And the more media coverage that you get, you can tell whether your event was a success or not. Because if it's a good event, definitely the media wants to cover it. The media wants to write about it,
Mm-hmm.
And especially if we did like a CSR for this waterfall back at Kampa, which is actually because the waterfall is quite famous among students to go to, and they also have like orang aslis also staying in there. So that's why it was very important to spread about the awareness of the safety at the waterfall. So that's why the media also want to cover it, and it's on our part, it's good to know that which media had covered it and how did they write it and stuff like that. So I think media monitoring was quite important. Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of new information. Thank you, Sarah. And we're
Right.
gonna move to our last question, which is how did the PR strategies contribute to the club decision making process in resolving the issue?
Mm, let me see. I think generally whatever we learned throughout that 3 years in degree really did help. Like, because one thing about PR is about event management and all that, right? um, and whatever that we had learned, it really helped us to put things into perspective, because most of the time we are at the receiving end. Usually we are the ones attending the event, not the ones that are doing the event. And now that we got an idea on how it is to do the event, we know what is happening backstage and how to deal with it and overcome it. Mm, I would say it gives you a 360, sorry, yeah, 180 thought. Yeah, because let me see. Mm, sometimes you just like, for instance, um, you're dealing with third parties,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes third parties can be quite unpredictable. They might say yes at one point, then they might say no at the other point. So in PR we learned that two-way communication is very important, right? So I think that one thing that it has taught me is that always checking up, Always making sure that you are on the same page with the third party is very important, and that helped me overcome whatever issues I was having with the third party. Yeah, and to carry on.
Thank you, Miss Sarah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's
Mhm.
really answer for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Sarah. Since we are new to learn about PR, so thanks to you, we got a new information that we can also adding our knowledge about PR. So yeah,
Mhm. All right. Thank you, girls, and I wish you all the best.
thank you
Thank you
so
for having
much.
us. Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Miss Sarah.
All
But
right. So,
before, but before we end the interview, can we have a like screenshot of
yeah,
a
sure.
picture together? Yeah, yeah, I will take a picture.
Okay.
Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay,
Okay.
done.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
Bye.
much, Miss
Thank you
Sarah.
so
We
much.
also wish
Yeah.
you the best.
Thank you, and good luck with your studies, girls.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. So, Miss Sarah,
Thank
what
you
are
so
you
much.
doing now? Are you studying right now, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm a postgraduate student right now. Yeah, and I'm doing
Oh,
integrated marketing communications. So, yeah.
oh,
Mm.
see.
Mm. Yeah.
We wish to be like you also in the future.
Wow, so nice,
I
huh?
really hope I have a confidence to talk like you.
Can soon. During this degree time, build your confidence and
Yeah.
then you'll be able to do it. Yeah.
So yeah, Miss Sarah, anything related to PR after this, I think we can contact you again.
All right, sure, no worries.
Yeah.
You can always text me if you guys need any advice or any help with anything.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Miss
No
Sarah.
worries.
Have a
All
good
right.
day. Thank you, Miss Sarah.
Thank you. Bye bye.